Law enforcement fights crime in our neighborhoods. The eyes and ears of the community can prove vital in these efforts. Stay vigilant. Your tip could crack the next case. This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Crimestoppers, a show which partners law enforcement and community to help solve and prevent crime on our streets. In this episode, we will cover the crime of the week, parish by parish. We will also talk Lafayette Parish's most wanted with Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas. And we'll have a discussion with Acadia Parish Sheriff K.P. Gibson to find out how his department is tackling crime in Acadia Parish. Our first crime of the week segment comes from Acadia Parish, where law enforcement is looking for two suspects accused of stealing an 18-wheeler from a South Crowley truck stop. Sheriff K.P. Gibson has the details.
The Crowley Police Department is investigating the theft of an 18-wheeler that occurred at the South Crowley truck stop located at 9002 South Highway 13. The theft occurred on June 20th, 2025 at approximately 12:30 p.m. Two unknown suspects, believed to be either white or Hispanic males, were captured on video surveillance maneuvering around an 18-wheeler before stealing it. The first suspect was wearing a blue shirt, dark pants, and a black cap. The second was wearing a green shirt and dark pants. They were driving a black Lexus sedan. The stolen vehicle is described as a 2019 Peterbilt, white and maroon in color. If you have information regarding this crime, you're urged to call the tip sign at 789-TIPS or download our P3 app to report your tip anonymously. All callers will receive up to a $1,000 cash reward for information leading to the arrest in this case. Be the difference. For Crimestoppers of Acadia Parish, I'm Sheriff K.P. Gibson.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crimestoppers at 789-TIPS. You could earn up to a $1,000 cash reward.
This next crime comes from St. Landry Parish, where law enforcement there is seeking three suspects accused of scamming $4,500 from a Sunset Dollar General. Here's that story.
You're watching St. Landry Crimestoppers.
Lieutenant LaCorian Washington with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office comes to Crimestoppers and needs your help.
You're watching St. Landry Crimestoppers.
Lieutenant LaCorian Washington with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office comes to Crimestoppers and needs your help in identifying three individuals who scammed $4,500 from a Dollar General.
On June the 23rd, 2025, deputies responded to a complaint from the manager of the Dollar General at the 5600 block of Highway 182 near Sunset, Louisiana. The manager learned that on June the 21st, three unidentified individuals entered the store and requested to load 9 prepaid Visa cards. The individuals used a type of scamming device and had prior knowledge of the override procedure on the Dollar General point of sale software. This gave the individual $4,500 of prepaid card value without paying anything to the store. To view footage from the store surveillance camera, go to the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
Anyone with information on this or any other crime is asked to contact St. Landry Crimestoppers at 948-TIPS. Remember to download our P3 app and tap the app to say it here and submit your anonymous tips. On behalf of the St. Landry Crimestoppers Board, the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant LaCorian Washington, and Sheriff Bobby J. Guitros, thank you and have a blessed day.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crimestoppers at 948-TIPS. You could earn up to a $2,500 cash reward.
Authorities in Iberia Parish need your help capturing the person responsible for a deadly shooting on October 2024 on Lafayette Street in New Iberia. The victim was shot and killed while sitting on his front porch. Here's more on the case.
This segment of Iberia Parish Crimestoppers is brought to you by the New Iberia Police Department.
The New Iberia Police Department is asking for the public's assistance in solving a murder. Just after 10 p.m. on October 28, 2024, officers with the New Iberia Police Department responded to a shooting in the 600 block of Lafayette Street. The shooting claimed the life of 35-year-old LaMarcus Daniels. LaMarcus, a father, a son, a brother, was shot and killed while sitting on his front porch. Detectives are actively investigating but need your help. Any information, no matter how small, could be the key to solving this case and bringing justice for the family. On behalf of New Iberia Police Department, I'm Lieutenant Rustin Como.
Information about this crime or other crimes can be reported to Iberia Crime Stoppers by calling 337-364-TIPS or online at www.p3tips.com or by downloading the P3 app on your smart device. You may be eligible for a cash reward if your information leads to an arrest. All tips are anonymous. Let's work together to keep our community safe. On behalf of Iberia Crime Stoppers, I'm Captain Leland Lassiter.
Authorities in Lafayette are looking for some fugitives wanted for OWI, domestic violence, among other offenses. That's why we've invited Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas. Once again, he joins us weekly for Lafayette's Most Wanted. So again, thank you for being here and taking your time to be with us.
Thank you for having me.
So we have 4 suspects that your office is currently looking for. And just tell me why it's important that we find these individuals.
You know, it's important because these individuals are not showing up for court, and most of them are OWI second offense. And I always say second offense, you know, the first offense is bad enough, but the second offense that then you don't show up for court. So, you know, we have been asking the community to contact us, and I'll tell you this, we do get contacted, and we are making arrests on these cases. So I'm very excited about that. You know, everybody is participating. People are calling my office because a lot of people realize that second offense OWI is very serious. So we want these people off the roadway.
And I'm glad for that. That's what we aim to do on Acadiana Crime Stoppers. We want to make our street safer, or help you make our street safer. So I'm so glad your office does that. So let's go into our first person that your office is looking for. Shelton J. Lewis, OWI, second offense. First OWI, he pled no contest. Second OWI, he didn't appear in court, and that's always a problem.
And that's a problem because, you know, a lot of times you take responsibility for what you do. And there's really no excuse. I always say it's no excuse for the first time. So the second time is definitely no excuse. So we're looking for him, and we're going to ask that you contact our office, area code 337-291-8725. Contact the marshal's office. Let's get him off the roadway.
Yeah, because he's a danger. If he is driving while intoxicated, he's a danger to everyone else on that roadway. It could be your family, my family, or someone you love out there on the road. Anybody that's intoxicated and driving, not good.
And when we talk about this, we're talking about the second time.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's times where it's the third, fourth time. So that's somebody who continued to do this. You know, and everybody has a family member that's probably been in an accident, or no friends that been in an accident with somebody who was driving drunk. So let's get this guy off the roadway. So Shelton Lewis, contact my agency, or anybody out there who know who Shelton Lewis is, contact my agency and we will go out and pick him up.
Okay, second person that your office is looking for, Ryan Eshtay, OWI, second offense. First OWI, he pled no contest. Second OWI, failure to appear. So again, twice, and he didn't appear in court. So even when he had a court date, he didn't even bother to show up.
You know, a lot of people, since we've been doing this segment, has been telling me, I didn't know it was people do second offense. You know, once a normal person get arrested, then you never hear about anybody doing anything like that again. Well, that's why I'm bringing the second offense. Second offense is top on my list. So we want to get them off the roadway. So anybody who knows who this is, contact my office. Again, I'll give you the number, 337-291-8725.
All right, so you got the number. So if you know him or know where he is, contact his office. So Christopher Harrison, first and second OWI, he pled no contest. So he had 2 OWIs. Failure to appear, that was on a motion to revoke his parole. So his parole was revoked. He didn't bother to appear for that. And he has convictions in domestic abuse and drugs. And I know you've done said domestic abuse in your office, that's not going to be tolerated.
No, domestic abuse is very serious, and we do not tolerate domestic abuse. Once domestic abuse come into my office, we go out and look for the person. You know, this was somebody who came to court, and he didn't appear once he was on parole. You know, he did not come back to do the things he was supposed to do. You know, first time, second time, you're going to get some type of penalty. That's a part of the court system. You know, you have to do what you're supposed to do. He does not do what he's supposed to do. We're looking for him. We're asking Acadiana to look, if you know him, because that's another thing I would like to say. A lot of people know these faces because these are local people.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know them. We're asking you to contact our agency at 337-291-8725.
And we'll talk about that at the end, how you can contact your office anonymously. But first, let's take a look at our fourth and last person, Travis Patterson. Domestic abuse, battery, first offense, battery on a police officer, that certainly can't be tolerated, and failure to appear in 3 separate hearings. So he's had 3 hearings. He hasn't appeared for any of them. He has a domestic abuse battery and battery on a police officer.
You know, I talk about domestic violence, and you know, I tell you all the time, it won't be tolerated. Then we go to the second, we talk about battery on a police officer. That's a police officer out doing his job, coming into contact with a person, and a battery occurs on a police officer. You know, domestic violence, you get an opportunity to come to court. You get an opportunity to talk about what took place and maybe get some help on a case like this. But you don't. It's been 3 times that you have not appeared in court. So right now we're looking for you. And he's local, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking right now and they'll recognize who he is. You know, we ask you, contact us. If you're not going to contact us, then somebody contact us and let us know where he's at, and we will be picking him up. It won't be tolerated. Domestic violence is something that I said from day one. When you commit a domestic violence and you're not appearing in court, we will find you.
Well, it's just so important that people feel safe in their homes. That's the one place you should feel safe.
Yes.
And it's just a travesty that some people cannot feel safe in their own homes.
Yes, and that's why, you know, it's things like the domestic violence is the second offense OWI. It's really high on my list. And this is why I come every week and we show these pictures, because what happens is either we bring them to justice. Somebody calls us and say, hey, look, I don't want this guy driving on the roadway. 2 OWIs, he's going to kill somebody. And it's just that simple. So what they do is they contact us, and when they contact us, we then go out and we make an arrest. And I tell people 24/7, we will be there and we will do our job and we will get them off the street.
So for anyone out there, if you want to help Marshal Reggie Thomas do his job, how do they do that?
They contact us at 337-291-8725. Or you can always contact Crime Stoppers. You know, it's several ways that you can contact us. And you can go to my website, and the website is Lafayette Marshal's office. And you could go to the website and also leave. You know, we're not asking for your name. We're not asking for any information. We just want to find these people. And more than anything, we want to get them off our roadway.
Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome back. This crime of the week is coming to us from Vermilion Parish. Authorities are offering a $10,000 reward for help capturing a suspect wanted on multiple drug offenses.
Crime Stoppers of Vermilion presents the Crime of the Week.
Crime Stoppers in the Vermilion Parish Sheriff's Office would like your assistance in solving this segment's Crime of the Week. The United States Marshal Service and the Vermilion Parish Sheriff's Office have teamed up with a private donor to locate and arrest fugitive Jonas Rayo. Rayo is wanted for multiple counts of possession with intent to distribute Scheduled 1, 2, and 3 narcotics with a bond set at $235,000. Rayo is from the Abbeville area and is described as a black male with brown eyes, black hair, stands 6 foot 5 inches tall, and weighs approximately 265 pounds with a date of birth of October 31st, 1984. A $10,000 cash reward has been offered for information leading to the arrest of Rayo. If you have information on this or any other crime, I encourage you to call the Crime Stoppers tips line at 740-TIPS, or you can download and log on to the P3 app to report your tips anonymously, where you can earn a cash reward. From Vermilion Parish, I'm Sheriff Eddie Longletter.
Detectives with the Breaux Bridge Police Department are seeking suspect information in connection with an August 2024 homicide. The homicide happened on West Potan Street. On August 25th, 2024, at approximately 9:45 p.m., officers responded to a call of shots fired at a residence. Upon arrival, officers with the Breaux Bridge Police Department located Clifford Demachet suffering from several gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A juvenile suspect inside the residence at the time of the shooting did not sustain injuries. If you have any information on or know the whereabouts of the suspect wanted in connection with this homicide, please contact St. Martin Parish Crime Stoppers by calling 337-441-3030 or via the free P3 Tips app.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crime Stoppers.
We are back on Acadiana Crime Stoppers, and today we have Acadia Parish Sheriff KP Gibson. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, Trevor.
Well, of course, I know of you. I'm from Crawley, Louisiana. I remember when you were police chief there. So just tell me about how things are going in Acadia Parish crime-wise and some of the things you guys are doing in your office to prevent crime.
Well, you know, we're staying really busy. This summer has been a little bit different from previous summers where our call volume isn't necessarily as high, but unfortunately our crimes are kind of staying in the same aspect. You know, we deal a lot with burglaries and thefts. Knock on wood, we're in a pretty good position as far as crimes of violence in the parish area, but at the same point in time, you know, we still deal with it around the parish, not only in the rural areas, but also working with our local partners in our police departments, trying to make sure that we can resolve issues. You know, a lot of initiatives going on. You know, we're obviously we trying to make sure our training is completed, you know, on a monthly basis, which we stay very active in it and put in over 10,000 hours of training a year. Every year seems like it grows a little bit more each and every time. And a lot of mandates come down from the state that requires training. So we try to make sure we stay above what the state requires and make sure that our folks have the best training that they can have to prepare them for the road, for the jail, or for whatever job they would be doing within the department. You know, a lot of people think about law enforcement, especially in sheriff's offices, really being the patrol detectives, narcotics, and the jail. And there's a lot more to that. When, you know, we have a civil department that runs a lot of the operations in our district courthouse. We have a transportation unit that has to go all over the state, transferring inmates to and from different prisons and courts. And just a lot of other things. Our dispatch stays extremely busy, which is tied in through 911. And just a really big operation. You know, it's not, you know, it's not just one part. It goes a lot of different directions, and it keeps us very busy and very blessed to have a lot of good personnel doing this to help me stay afloat.
So, of course, you guys want to prevent all crime, but do you guys have a point of emphasis, maybe something that's going on? You said that there have been a lot of burglaries lately. Is there something your office is emphasizing in terms of, okay, we need to try to prevent this from happening?
Well, no doubt about it. So you have to remember, you know, when you look at Acadia Parish, we have about 600 miles of roadway that we patrol every day. And we're running between 6 and 8 deputies on the road at a time from that aspect. So it's not just a matter of us being out there. It's also having our citizens hopefully work with us to secure property. Vehicles have been our biggest issue we've had over the last couple of years as far as burglaries. Mainly people pulling on door handles, looking for that unlocked door and hoping to find something. And we talk with people and try and explain to them, you know, if you're going to leave something in your vehicle, it should be in a closed garage maybe or that nature. But, you know, a gun, a purse, a briefcase or a computer bag, anything should be removed from your cars regardless. But if you pull on 100 car doors at night and bad guy opens 10 doors and gets anything of value, of let's say $1,000 value, they've had a pretty good haul for that night. Yeah. So our goal is to educate our folks and asking them to help us because, you know, we can only patrol so much. We try to get as much as we can, but we need their help to try and, you know, to avoid them becoming victims of crimes and removing items out of their vehicles and bringing them into the residence at night, unless you're obviously in an enclosed garage, and that might be a little different story.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought that up because that kind of goes into my next question. Of course, the bond between law enforcement and community is very important. The community has to trust law enforcement. So have there been any community outreach type events that you can talk about that your office has done to try to build that bond even further?
Yeah, we stay involved in a lot of different aspects. When there's something going on in a parish, we'll be involved in career expos. We go out to neighborhood watch programs and meet with people from that aspect. just anything that we're capable of doing. But we also challenge our deputies, both on patrol as well as anywhere in the department, to interact with the public. Look, the public is our partners. We need them to be our partners in trying to fight crime, because we can't do it by ourselves. We very frequently ask for people to get out and, when we talk about things, asking them if you see something, it looks suspicious, doesn't look like it fits just right, let us go out and check it out. But we need them to call in if they see something that doesn't look right, instead of saying, no, I'm not sure what it is, I'm going to leave it alone. If they call, we check out and find it's, somebody has a repairman at their home. I'd rather find out that than the person coming home and find out they've been a victim to a burglary or a theft, for that matter. So we partner with a lot of our folks in also looking and working with their videos, trying to put cases together from that aspect. And we try to stay as involved as much as we can. We challenge our deputies not to also get out, meet with the public, talk to the public, give them contact information for you, to where if we can, if there's anything to have, even if it's just a question we can answer for them, we want to. This agency is not my agency. It's the public's agency, and I'm just very blessed to be able to run it for them.
Yeah, well, here on Acadiana Crimestoppers, it's all about allowing the public to hear from their leaders. So I will give you the chance to do that now, Sheriff. Is there anything you would like to tell the citizens of Acadia Parish?
Well, I want to let you know that we take a look every year at trying to see how we can grow our department to where it grows for the support of our citizens. We put a lot of miles on vehicles every year, which causes us to change out the vehicles a little bit more frequently, which is a cost, but it's a cost that we want to have, meaning our folks are patrolling the roads. We want our guys and gals to get out and stop and talk to the citizens, as well as we do. I do a little thing every quarter that we meet around with different parts of the parish. And we try to hear their concerns, and we want the input from our customers, and our customers are our citizens of our parish. So when we hear something good or bad, we want to hear it. We definitely want to hear the good, of course, but when there's something that people are concerned about or feel that maybe we can do better, we want their input. They are our customers, and that's how we treat it, and that's how we treat it since day one. And we want to do what we can to help and make Acadia Parish a safe place to live. We all live in Acadia Parish, majority of us. So we have the same stakes that we want for our homes, just as they do. And, we want their partnership to see something suspicious, anything. So we look at it more than just being, hey, we're going to deal with a problem for somebody. How do we not only deal with that issue that they have, but hopefully correct anything from moving forward in the future as best we can?
Acadia Parish Sheriff KP Gibson, thank you so much for joining us today on Acadiana Crimestoppers. Thank you for having me, Trevor. I appreciate it.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome back. Our partnership with law enforcement continues next week. Join us as we show you most wanted fugitives throughout Acadiana. Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas will be with us once again. We'll see what other suspects he's looking for. Also, a one-on-one conversation with Opelousas City Marshal Paul Mouton. He'll explain what his office is doing to keep the streets of Opelousas safe. We appreciate you tuning in to Acadiana Crimestoppers exclusively on KLFY+. We will be back next week detailing the latest crimes to be solved and perps to be brought to justice.